Hi, I'm Micah from Plan Your Federal Retirement, and welcome to this episode in the FERS Federal Fact Check. Today we have a question about your FERS supplement and Social Security. Someone writes in and says, should I start my Social Security at 62 because that is when my FERS supplement stops? You know what, that's a great question, and it really comes down to a cash flow question, right? About all of a sudden that supplemental income is going to go away. Now, your pension went down by presumably a good dollar amount, and so where do you make up that difference? Now, there's two camps when it comes to turning on your Social Security. There's some that have a little bit more of an emotional tie to it. Says, Micah, I want all my money out as soon as I can. I don't know how long I'm going to live. I'm starting my Social Security at 62. And really, that's an emotional question, emotional answer. Forgive me, that's right there. There's not much I can argue with on that. It's pure emotional. But if we look at just the math side of it, I can come up with a different answer. Now, I like to stay in the math camp of things. One of the nice parts about math is it generally comes up with an answer, right? And it's a non-emotional answer. So it's a way of dispassionately looking at things that we're deciding and saying, is it really a good idea? Then how do you blend those two? So let's walk through a little scenario of kind of what I would walk through with some of my clients about the pros and the cons of doing this. So one of the things we do with our clients is we create what's called a retirement income timeline. This is really important. You've probably heard me talk about this in the past, about how much income, fixed income, are you going to have coming in at what period in time. So let's say you retired at 57, your MRA, minimum retirement age, you had your FERS pension coming on at that time, and you had your supplement coming in. Then lo and behold, 62 years young comes around and you continue to get your FERS, but now your supplement stops because now you're 62. The supplement was a bridge to help bridge that Social Security income that you're not getting until you're eligible. Now you're eligible for it. So Social Security will stop, the FERS supplement stops the month you're eligible for Social Security, and then you have a choice, do you apply or not? So let's say your FRA, full retirement age, is 66. Now, for Social Security, you can wait until you're 70 years young to get the most benefit, the maximum bang for your buck. After 70, you should make sure that you're applying because it doesn't grow after that. So a couple of things to look at. I'm going to make the assumption in our little scenario here that you have another bucket of money to take. If the FERS supplement turns into a pumpkin, we got the TSP, we got a bank account, we have something else that we can access to bring income to you to have that cash flow that you need in retirement time. So then the question becomes, all right, if we have that other bucket, that other TSP that we could access, does it make sense to access that TSP, let the TSP grow and turn on Social Security? So let's take a look at how that math works. Well, if you turn on Social Security early, and age 62 is early, there's a penalty. The penalty is 0.5% for every month in which you turn Social Security on before your FRA, your full retirement age. So roughly that's 6% a year. So you have a 6% per year penalty every year you turn Social Security on early. Well, 62, the difference between 62 and 66 is we got 4 years, so 6% times 4 is 24%. You have a 24% permanent reduction in your Social Security benefit that never goes away. Now, if you wait on your Social Security, let's say you want to defer it until 70, and again, this is just an example, right? Let's say you want to delay it. Well, every year you delay it, you get an 8% increase in your Social Security benefit. Again, 66 to 70, we have 4 years. This is now a 32% increase from what it would be at 66, right? So this all of a sudden becomes a really big dollar difference, generally double, between what you had at 66 and what you would have at 70 with turning Social Security on. So here's one interesting way to look at this. Every year you turn Social Security on early, you get a 6% penalty. So roughly, and I know the math doesn't work out exact, but go with me in concept, that means every year you delay, it goes up by at least 6%, right? Because you don't have that penalty anymore. So this almost becomes a guaranteed rate of return. A guaranteed increase by the federal government that every year you delay, that Social Security is going to increase by 6%. I like guaranteed rates of return, especially when they come from the US government. Yes, Congress can change anything at the stroke of a pen. It's fully up to them. But I'm kind of thinking they're not changing this in the near future. So, especially if you're getting close to being eligible for Social Security. So every year you delay, you get a 6% increase. All right, let's compare that to your TSP. Is your TSP going to give you a guaranteed 6% increase every single year until you're 66, from 62 to 66? You should be doing this. No, it's not, is it? You want guaranteed, you got to go to the G fund in the TSP. And what are you going to get? 1.5% to 2.5%, depending on what rates are at the time. And so while that's a great rate of return for the G fund, that's not 6%. So you have this giant increase, which is happening over time. Then at 66, in our example, your FRA, your full retirement age, comes around, and now you're going to go up by 8% a year. This is a big increase that, again, you're getting a guaranteed 8% increase over time. So mathematically, as long as we got another bucket that's out there that we can draw from, you might want to really look at delaying that Social Security. Now, we're playing some risk, right? Different for married folks versus single folks. One of the things with married folks you got to think about, if you turn that Social Security on early, you're limiting or reducing your spouse's survivor benefit that they can get. Your spouse is eligible for 100% of their benefit or 50% of yours, whichever is greater, while you're alive. Once you're retired, your spouse is eligible for 100% of their benefit or 100% of your own, which is ever higher. They don't get both, they only get one of the two. So if you turn your Social Security on early and you pass away, you're reducing that benefit from your spouse. If you delay it, you're giving them potentially a higher increase. Now again, every spouse is different. Maybe you and your spouse have the same earnings history and it's the same Social Security, so maybe this is not so much of an issue. These are just different things that I would look at when I'm building a plan for a client to say what makes the most mathematical sense on how to turn that Social Security on, or when to turn that Social Security on. I hope this information has been helpful. Any other questions or comments, please go ahead and put them in the post below. We love getting the feedback from you guys. It's been really positive, so that's been great. Please keep it coming. Let us know what you think of these. And of course, questions. Keep those questions coming so that we can address them. We absolutely do enjoy getting those in. So until next time, happy planning.